Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This episode, Wavering Wade detects dicks and initiates an inquiry about imbibing and the uncanny valley. Maimed Mark massages his manliness with special sperm and suggests soaking testes. Billowy Bob of the Butthole Sun instantly betrays his buddy, roasts a rabbit, and annihilates atrocious AI. From mystery myocardial mishaps to helpful Houdinis. Yes! It's time for It's Mark's Birthday, Part 2. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Distractible. I'm today's host, Wade. Why? Because I could remember things a little bit better than Mark last week from what we were supposed to learn from Bob. But if he asked us again right now, I wouldn't remember any of it. I'm joined, well, I just mentioned them, Mark and Bob.
Hello.
Hello.
I remember several of the answers because it was really fucking funny.
Do you remember the battle in...
The Battle of Hastings?
Okay, you're just going to give him the answer, man.
No, that's Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, yeah, no, the wall, right.
Hadrian! What do I do if my arm hurts?
Did you turn it off and on again?
Get an icy hot?
It's weird. My left arm hurts.
Did you sleep on it funny? Did you punch it?
I don't know. It kind of hurts to move it around a bit or something. I don't know. It feels like I got restless arm.
Was it SpongeBob that had an episode where he had like the arm that was just like doing its own thing and carrying him around places? What show was that?
Rocco's Modern Life.
Was it Rocco?
Sure. It's actually Hey James Franco.
Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. It had like the anchor tattoo, the big buff arm. Was it Rick and Morty? Because then they go into like the Mad Max area and they're like fighting and killing people with it. I think it was Rick and Morty.
Honestly, I don't know anything outside of like the first season of Rick and Morty. I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, I don't watch it. Anyway, what do I do? My arm hurts. Well, it doesn't really hurt. It's more like it's like a discomfort.
Does it hurt like your bone hurts or like your muscles hurt?
Oh, it's like a deep throbbing vein pain, you know, like it's some pressure. Also, it feels like an elephant sitting on my chest. What's up?
Oh, no, you're probably fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
All right, okay.
How's your breathing? Is that normal?
I kind of like it hurts to breathe deep.
Do you feel your shoulder?
Huh? Yeah, I feel it. I feel it really good. Like not good, but I feel a lot.
Does Wade not get what we're not saying, or are you in on this? I can't tell.
Well, that's a good question, I guess. I'll give you a point for not telling you too.
I gotta say, Wade, it's important that you know what Mark's hinting at.
Yeah,
it's very important. It's for all of us, me especially, but all three of us.
Yeah, my intention is only to worry the audience for, you know, the random reasons that I make them worry.
Do you know what left arm pain and chest tightness means, Wade?
I know what left shoulder numbness means.
Okay, what does that mean?
Isn't that whenever you are about to have a heart attack?
A left shoulder numbness is maybe also part of it. The more obvious ones is if your left arm pain and chest tightness, not numbness.
Left arm pain and numbness. The numbness is part of it.
Mm-hmm. But more specifically, the pain and such is.
Nah, you know what? That's good enough. Mark's he's young. He's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't know why, but I've had like this it's not pain and it's not a heart attack. Everybody, I've checked and I have a physical scheduled because ever since I got shingles, I've been paranoid because they say it stays to one side of the body, but they say in super rare cases it can jump across to the other side of the body.
You would have seen that though. Shingles are big.
Well, are we talking like tile or asphalt?
I was thinking the new solar roof shingles, you know, so I can generate electricity as I... You
got the Tesla shingles.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. But, you know, damn, I just got the pox shingles.
Well, and you had to not spray paint. You had to, water your solar panels.
Yep. It didn't work. So Amy bought a mop and I'm going to go up there. I'm going to mop my solar panels.
No, what you really want to do is get a pressure washer and put the highest pressure nozzle on. It will not damage the solar panels. Almost guarantee it, but that'll get them clean.
Or you get that spray you put on your windshield that keeps the water from like...
Oh yeah, you should Rain-X your solar panels. That'll fix it.
Okay, all right. I like that. That doesn't help my shoulder though.
Oh, I can't do anything for that. Take some aspirin. Call your doctor.
You should Pain-X your shoulder.
Is there such a thing as restless arm syndrome? Because that's what it feels like. Feels like I can't relax my arm. Also, I'm so out of shape. I had a horrible awakening of how out of shape I was.
Restless arm syndrome, RAS, is a variant of restless leg syndrome that causes a feeling of discomfort in the upper limbs. Symptoms can include aching or burning, urge to move the arm, involuntary jerky motion, tingling, numbness.
Is it worse at night or when you're trying to relax?
It's whenever.
Does it cause sleep disturbances or loss of sleep?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just like right now. I think it's just because I'm super out of shape. I did about 25 squats last Friday, and my legs are still incredibly sore. I have to hobble around the house. I don't know how this happened. I used to be a very, very in shape kind of person. This is no longer the case. And then yesterday I rode my bike. I finally got on the old e-bike again. And
Nice.
then I rode my sweet custom Super 73 around town.
Which we all got for being on the best podcast on earth.
Absolutely. It was exhilarating, and then until I had to go back uphill, then it was less exhilarating, even at the highest, setting of assistance. The hills in LA, they do be hilling. They big hill, so that was unpleasant.
I'm less in shape than you are generally, and at any given moment in our lives. I think that's always been true. But I had that one time I did a workout and had exactly what you're describing. I did like a bunch of lunges and squats, and it was like heavy leg workout. I was sore for like 2 weeks. It was the weird, because I always get sore after a workout. That's normal, especially if you're not in shape. But that was like, I thought I was dying. I couldn't walk for a few days. I don't know what that means. Are you magnesium deficient or something? Do you need more?
I don't know, probably not getting enough protein. I don't know, something like that.
You need more butthole sun? How much butthole sun do you get?
Not enough. Not enough.
What about blood of the youth? Have you got any blood of the youth transfused lately?
I've gotten actually a higher than average amount of blood of the youth, but I just think that it might not be enough. I think I got to youth it up a little more.
Maybe they weren't young enough. You need more youthiness.
Yeah. Okay. How young do you think?
I mean, as young as you can get, I guess. I don't know.
Fresh? Yeah. Fresh. You thinking fresh?
Fresh would be ideal.
Well, what if it gets mixed in with, the old blood around it?
No, there's a blood barrier. As long as you get it from the right sort, you can't do that. It's fine.
Anyway, yeah. So no shoulder solutions. I got this cream with a lot of camphor in it.
What's that?
It's camphor.
Oh, okay.
For your cams.
Say it louder.
Camphor.
No, that makes sense because your bottom half, like your legs and your glutes and stuff, those are your yams. So it makes sense. Your arms and your shoulders are your cams.
I could go get that, but then I'd have to leave this small talk, and I could lose some points, and a handshake could happen. So I can't.
We won't. Handshake that we won't.
Handshake that we won't.
I offer you a handshake deal that we will not offer. Are you?
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go get my camphor.
All right. Wait, do you want to make a handshake deal?
That sounds good, man. What do you want to do?
I don't know. It should be something funny, though. What a dummy. He left.
Should I just give you a point from now on every time Mark brings up the shoulder the rest of this episode?
Every time Mark is suspicious that we made a handshake deal, that give me a point.
Okay, I can do that.
He's gonna continue this bit now where he makes that face he makes where he's all. This is just giving Mark what he deserves.
Anything happen?
No.
All right, I got my camphor.
Does that count, Wade?
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that thing where you're like, does that count? Oh, I think that was 1. Oh, that was 2. Okay, all right.
I think that was 2.
I was conscious 3. Yeah, okay, all right. I don't believe you. I got a tube of goo, and I'm gonna goo my shoulder up real good. So don't.
Editors, put in that sexy song.
Oh, was that 5? Oh, it's 5, isn't it? I better not be actually falling into something. I swear.
No, well, I could tell you we didn't make a handshake deal while you were gone, Mark. We didn't. It's on video. You can watch for yourself later.
This apparently has full spectrum hemp flower extract.
Dude, is your shoulder getting high?
Maybe that's why your arm's been doing whatever it wants. Your arm's high as fuck right now.
What in the fuck are these ingredients? Butyrospermum.
Oh, beauty sperm.
My sperm's gonna be so pretty.
No, you're spreading beauty sperm on your skin.
All right, well, it's getting put to good use, I guess.
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Look, I don't care where this horse semen came from. I want it on my arm.
You put enough of those on your shoulder, you'll be ready to swim in no time.
Sorry, everybody. Got to get under, you know? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, my bad, everyone. Just got to make sure I really get the spot.
It's so sore, so sore.
Well, actually, Mark, while you've got your arm available, can you tell me, do you happen to know which way the library is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's that way.
You could lie for the bit. Doesn't have to be real life accurate.
Well, why would I give you wrong directions? Just because I'm flexing doesn't mean I want to mislead you.
You're smart and strong, okay?
All in all, I'm really hoping that I don't have the mysterious rare case of shingles crossing over, because I looked up and apparently there's a shingles vaccine, but you're only allowed to get it if you're over 50.
Can't you just buy it and have someone put it in there?
I don't know.
Why? What kind of rule is that?
I couldn't get Bosley till I was 35 or 40.
Well, who would need that before they were 35 or 40? That's what I say. Was that one?
Maybe.
Anyway, so was that my small talk?
Probably. What else could you have going on? You're not making a movie anymore.
I'm trying to avoid food coloring of all types.
So you only eat beige food now? Where do you buy non-colored tomatoes?
Do you think that do they color fruit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean you're trying to avoid artificial food coloring?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, artificial.
Okay, 'cause I was like, all food has color, Mark.
You're right. You're right.
What are you eating? Squid ink?
Well, it does now, but back in the 40s and 50s, it was in black and white.
For the listeners, I'm pointing at Wade as if he's made a good point. I'm like,
There's nobody. As soon as they heard you were flexing on camera, everyone tuned into the video.
You guys can flex too. Why do you look so sad, Wade? Why do you look so sad?
Man, I look like I'm 50. I'm bald. What do I have to flex about?
By body weight, you probably have more muscle than I do.
You probably have a better bicep flex than I do, Wade. Like, you and Mark are in competition, but I guarantee you have a better one than I do.
Got decent,
Yeah, flex. Do it.
I gotta save that for later to keep people tuned in.
Here, I'll go first. My right arm is my bad arm, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's it.
Where I'm at, the library is over there.
Wow.
You're gonna want to look. You're gonna want to take a left.
That's where the regional branch is over there. But if you want the large...
Was that a thing full of liquid dumping onto a thing powered by electricity, or are we good?
No, it was just a light fell. I've got this light bar.
I was really hoping mid-scream it would just be the old, "Wah!" Frozen. Mark is disconnected.
Oh, that's really tingly. The Cam 4.
Tingling is probably good.
Are you having numbness? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's super numb. Actually, it's like this has Cam 4 3%, menthol 10%, methyl salicylate 10%.
What's that? Salicylic acid?
It's a topical analgesic.
I gave you 1 heart attack point, Mark. If you actually have one on camera, I'll give you 10.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
It's piss pants too. Can we make an official rule that if we have a heart attack on the stream, it's not a guaranteed win. It's just points.
It's like catching the snitch. You get 100 points and the game is over.
Yeah, if you have a technological or physical emergency on camera while we're doing this, sure, you get points.
Technological too? Well, that's too easy.
Well, like if you spill something and ruin your computer and you go out, you're like, and you just go to blackness. Yeah, I would totally give you points. As long as it's not to the point where we lose the footage. We have to get it uploaded.
That's just annoying.
I feel like Mark's done a lot of the small talk. Bob, you got some small talk stuff going on?
Guys, good news. My Rabbit R1 has been shipped. The future will be in my hands in mere days.
Okay, you say rabbit. I think of the thing you put on your TV to get cable.
Those are rabbit ear antennas. That's different. The Rabbit R1 is the future of AI technology.
Is that? No, that's not that pin thing. We talked about it, though.
No, the pin is called what is that called? The Rabbit is the little orange one.
The humane
AI pin, yeah. The Rabbit R1 is the little orange box that's designed by those people who make cool designs. College engineering or teenage engineering, whatever that company's called.
The good old teenage engineers. Yeah.
Anyway, the joke is, did you guys hear about all the announcements that Apple made at their WWDC event?
Yeah.
They essentially just made the Rabbit R1 and similar type boxes completely pointless because Siri's just going to do all that shit now. That was the joke I was making. But I'll have it soon, and it might be able to order me DoorDash, and apparently can't get you Ubers, even though it says it can get you an Uber.
I don't even know what it is.
So what can it do that your phone can't do?
It's a little discrete AI assistant thing that connects to the internet over Wi-Fi, is separate from your phone and doesn't interface with your phone. It's just a discrete little AI assistant. And if you ignore the fact that it doesn't do almost any of the very small number of things that it's advertised as being able to do, if it worked as advertised, it would essentially be like what everyone wishes Siri could be, where you can just be like, hey, I've got to add a meeting to my calendar for Thursday and like book travel or something. And it would take input like that and be like, I've added this to your calendar. I've scheduled an Uber that will get you to your meeting, 15 minutes early, blah, blah, blah. It's like a little, is Mark frozen or?
Oh, no, I was reading. No, I'm fine. Keep going. What's wrong?
I'm just always afraid you're frozen now.
There's a T-Rex looking at him. He's holding very still.
No, but it's like it's like a personal assistant, but instead of a human being, it's an AI that lives in a box. But if you look at any of the reviews for it, in particular, NKPHD has a very funny review, but all of them are good because all the reviews are people being like, oh, it's cool. It's a little plasticky. It's orange. It's cool design. And then they try and use it. And it's only currently supposed to work with Spotify, DoorDash, Uber, and maybe one other thing are the only apps it's like integrated with. And all of the examples of people trying to do stuff, they'd be like, order me tacos on DoorDash. And it's just like, oh, I can't do that right now. Go to DoorDash.com if you want to order DoorDash. And like stuff like that. It's just comically.
I clicked on a review from The Verge, and the top line is just, all the Rabbit R1 does right now is make me tear my hair out.
Wade, I love how whenever you say something like The Verge is a very well-known website that a lot of people go to. I'm not saying it's like reputable. I don't know what their quality of reporting is. But anytime you say any company, it's like it's Apple says this, or there's some company called Microsoft that believes that,
Guys, I found this new thing. It allows you to type questions into the internet, and then it gives you websites it thinks are related to what you're looking for. It's called Goggles.
Oh. Thought you meant Ask Jeeves.
Jeeves still exists. It's called Jeeves now. Or is it Ask now? I picked the wrong word.
I've never heard of Verge. Okay, The Verge was like the show hosted like Whoopi Goldberg and some other ladies.
The Verge was, I think, a show at some point.
Was Whoopi Goldberg on it?
No, The View is the one you're thinking of, but The Verge was essentially. Anyway, look, not important.
Okay.
I never know. Sometimes I'm afraid I'm gonna like name a website or something. You guys will be like, don't mention that. Don't mention that. It's so bad. You can't even say the name out loud, or Rumpelstiltskin will appear.
When have we ever done that?
You haven't yet, but I'm always careful in case you will.
All right, you got a point.
I gotta be prepared. Like, there's this other website called Wired.
Can't be trusted.
They said rabbit review skip.
Anyway, it was just a joke because it's not artificial intelligence. It's Apple intelligence when Apple does it. They announced a bunch of AI features type stuff.
Well, have you thought about getting one of the AUIs, artificially unintelligent?
I still don't get why we all just as a species skipped right over virtual intelligence and just decided to change the definition and put AGI as the next level. Virtual intelligence is such a great way to label it. It's such a perfect encapsulation of what it is, because it's not actually intelligent. It's a virtualization of intelligence.
Well, if you tell people you're selling something that's not AI, they'll be like, If you tell them it's AI, it's like, oh, see, AI's got like a negative connotation now, but like 5 or 10 years ago, man, if you said you had cutting edge artificial intelligence, that would have been like, holy fuck, how'd you do it? If you said you had virtual intelligence, people are like, dude, this guy down the road has AI in his coat pocket. He like opened up his jacket. He's like, you want some AI? And he pulled out a bottle of AI. And I was like, oh my God, I've got AI now.
Dude, we wish AI had a negative connotation. Even, Apple is behind the game on this, right? Because the like OpenAI and other things have been out for quite a while, quite a few years now. But even for Apple, they're jumping in. They had like one of the things Apple announces, they have a thing where you can generative AI make emojis on the fly. They're called Genmojis. So you could be like, make me an emoji of a lizard drinking a beer on the toilet. And it'll just generative AI you a picture thing that you can then use as an emoji. One, that sounds stupid, but if people use that, whatever, that's fine. Two, even Apple is jumping the gun on AI, being like, Oh, we can't get left that far behind. Apple, the company who introduces features that have been on Android for over a decade as new features, is already like, well, we gotta have AI. Get some AI in this. It's not good. It does not have a negative enough connotation that too many companies are still putting AI into everything. Like it's good and like it works and like it's a ready for the market type of product. It's not.
It's really not. And what's fascinating is like the whole Google thing. Everyone knows about the bad Google results. But I think we're starting to see the plateau, which is, I think we all knew was kind of coming. The plateau in terms of progress, in terms of the machine learning models. And like it suddenly hit the wall of like, oh, we don't have the hardware to make it any better. Bonk. And then it's waiting for the new generations of hardware. But those don't exactly come that fast, according to how fast things have progressed. Because Stable Diffusion 3 released publicly, whatever you want to call that release that they did.
Sure.
But they made a new model that was available to everybody. And it is better at understanding what you're telling it to do, but its results are actually worse, especially of people. If you do, the infamous example is wait, let me see if I can pull one up for you guys and share.
Describe it for the listeners, Mark.
If your imagine your imagination is a machine learning model, your Stable Diffusion 3, and I tell you to generate a picture of a man laying in a field of grass, very green grass, black button-down shirt, and blue jeans and white shoes. So Stable Diffusion, if you try to do that, it has made the ones on the right, I think the one on the left is like an older version of it, but the ones on the right are the newest version of it. The shoes are up at the top of the picture, but still with the soles pointing down. Then two legs, I guess, emerging from the bottoms of the shoe.
From the soles of the shoe.
From the soles of the shoe, going down, some wrinkles in the fabric, a large bulbous...
It looks like a black button-down shirt from behind, maybe?
A really big dick.
Not seeing that.
In the middle one, the big bulge in the middle of the two legs?
Maybe.
I mean, that's like a collar or whatever, but sure, yes.
And then the head sticking out from what would be the neck hole, but the top of the head is sticking out from the neck hole. And then this lady's hair as a beard draped down below her decapitated head. The one on the right is about the same. If I described something...
It's the same, but it's a guy's head.
Basically the same thing on the right with the guy's head.
It kind of looks like the one on the right looks like an actual person was like laying on the grass, and then someone like shoved something in and started sucking their like body out. It started like compressing, and then the clothes were kind of left behind, and then like the hair shoved someone else's head and neck into their face. So there's just like the hair and then the face jutting out from that.
It's a little guy climbing out of a bigger full-sized human costume, and it's like a all-in-one costume. He's climbing out the face hole.
Or he's just got a lot of chest hair, just a lot.
He looks like a Calvin Klein model's face. The one in the middle kind of looks like Angelina Jolie's face.
Yeah, so people are upset because the vast majority of people that use Stable Diffusion use it for making people with most likely less clothing on. But this isn't working. And
dude, I want to see a naked body formulated in that way. What the shit? It's just all knees and dicks.
Mark, get it for us.
Oh my God. Well, your wish is my command.
Everyone, what you're about to see is nothing because we can't show this.
Wha-bam!
Never mind, we're showing it.
Oh, good. Oh!
It's like body horror, but also somehow body comedy. Oh, it's Stable Diffusion 3. I see what they did there. SD3. This is the quality you could expect.
Anyway, so I think we're starting to hit that diminishing returns threshold.
I wonder if like they kept training it and it started to hit patches of like data that had masks on it to corrupt AI training inputs or something, or what? Like,
it's possible. Also, they probably tried to like train some of the more explicit things out of it. So for, safety reasons, they would probably try to eliminate some of the things from the training data, or at least mask out things that would be not safe for work.
That's true. I had a great uncle who was killed by boobs.
Which one?
Uncle Tim.
Left or right?
Oh, left boob.
Of course.
The left boob is the evil one.
Anyway, so I'm not saying that it's going to get worse from here, but I think what you see is a lot of these companies just rush to implement these things, and there's just problems with it, and it's not going to get better as fast as it had in the past.
Just wait for USD4. It's unstable, right? That's what we're going to now.
I thought you were talking about universal scene description.
I thought you were talking about currency 4.0 and the future of the US dollar.
You guys know too many things for my jokes to work. Can you guys be dumber so I can make a joke?
Whatever he's talking about, whatever joke, punchline he's looking for, it's related to whatever was just said and nothing else ever.
Yes.
Got it.
Anyway, I'm going to reel us in a little bit.
Okay, Mark got to do small talk for like an hour and a half, and then he also...
You brought up that was all you!
He also took over my small talk to talk... The Stable Diffusion thing was 100% Mark.
Well, no, that wasn't you. I guess that's true. You were the rabbit.
Well, I was just throwing it in there. I didn't know it meant that much to you.
Also, my life is a tragedy. We got our car wrapped, a very nice purple wrap, and somebody dinged it with their door today. So now there's a big tear in the wrap, and we've had it for less than 2 weeks. So
I was going to say you were just excited about getting that done.
Look upon me with pity. My very nice car has got a very surprisingly expensive vinyl wrap on it, and it's damaged now. Life is unfair.
I'm sorry.
That sucks.
That was my personal small talk. It's fine, but I was upset about that.
I have another thing that might cheer you up. That's a TikTok update. Have you seen the latest trend of using like some whatever AI like video generator?
Yes,
that got released
to extend vines or to turn meme pictures into videos. I fucking love it.
It's so funny. Did you see the 9+10 one?
No, I don't.
That one's actually horrifying. I think I just got to pull it up on my.
I could probably find it if it's actually on TikTok.
Stupid. What's 9 plus 10?
Like, it's actually terrifying. I don't know why.
9 plus 10.
Oh god, I love it.
Yeah, what the AI usually does is have the person turn immediately and then someone else walks into frame. That's how all of these kind of like template out to be. But that one worked particularly well. I love the lighting in it and how it actually like captured it.
No, have you seen the one of the little girl standing in front of the house on fire? And then it zooms out a little bit and then it pans over to a couple of firefighters who are just like, and that one is also a very good outcome. But yeah, those are fucking amazing. I love it.
Good small talk. Everyone got lots of points for small talk. I'm going to skip mine and save it for another episode. And I'm going to jump into... Okay, I've got a couple things to talk about. I don't know if we'll get time to get to them all. But I have a question. Have you guys all played at some point in your life some variation of a Dungeons and Dragons game?
Like a tabletop RPG of some sort?
Any tabletop RPG, yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
You guys are aware of health potions.
Sure.
Yes.
Even, video games obviously have them too. Do you think a health potion would work the same, worse, stronger, and or faster if butt chugged?
It would have to work faster and be slightly more effective, I think. It wouldn't grant additional effects, but butt chugging it would get the magic into your system or the whatever chemicals in your system just more effectively.
Because I tweeted this out and I've had discussions in like my D&D group about it. And some people, there's like a very staunch number of people that are just like, keep the brand pure. We must not have butt chugging. Do you know what my book says? It says imbibe, which means drink the potion.
Imbibe.
Imbibe. You must imbibe it.
It depends. Okay, because this is magic, right? It's magic.
So that's debatable. Sometimes health potions are magical. Sometimes they're just alchemical, made with herbs and stuff. It depends.
I feel like that's still like kind of magical.
Yes, but like they're just different herbs.
It's all a question of, okay, is it just about getting in the bloodstream? Because then you crystallize it, crush it up, and snort it, and yeah, that's gonna get you healthy real quick. Or you get it in a magical syringe and you blast it in a vein,
yes,
and you'll get healthy real quick.
Dude, an 80s period TTRPG where health potions are just little cocaine bumps that you have to do during while you're like, wait a second, I need a bump.
You slay the troll, you get it out your potion, you put it across this troll's belly, grab your straw. And...
I mean, In Bloodborne, it was basically the health potion was other blood. That was the whole thing of the story. And you had inject right in your leg. You lose some blood, pump it back in, which is kind of how it works today. I mean, it's not really that wrong.
That's the main thing about health. You just need enough blood in there.
So it just depends on whether it needs to be digested. That's the question I have about health potions. Is it dependent? Is the imbibe so important that it needs to be digested and broken down, and does it need to interface with all the different gut bacteria? Does it work in that capacity where there's some kind of like chemical that's excreted from your pancreas or your liver? Is there some other thing it's dependent on?
It really depends on the system. In Baldur's Gate 3, you can literally just throw a health potion at the ground. It'll explode, and like the fumes that come up will heal you and anyone around you. Some games you have to drink it. Like you said, Bloodborne, you inject it. So it really depends on the system as to...
The heart of my view on this would be if the system allows you to be healed basically instantaneously, if you take the health thing, however you take it, and you gain your health points back immediately, then it can't rely on digestion. If it's a thing where it's like you take this and it heals you for X amount of points over the next hour or something, maybe. But that's not how health potions tend to work. Health is a magical and or chemical thing where it's like you stab it and then you're healthy again. So it doesn't really, it's about getting whatever it is into your body. I don't know if it means it's getting it into your bloodstream necessarily, but like that's how humans work. So it's a fair assumption, I feel like, that it needs to get into your bloodstream.
So like in a video game, if you heal, usually a health potion heals you the same amount every time. But in like D&D, you roll a dice. It's like, oh, this is a 1d4 health potion. It kind of has variable effects. And I was reading into this a bit. And whenever you take medicine through your mouth, it's a lot more like uncertain how the absorption process will work compared to like taking medicine rectally. It's usually more consistent that way. So my thought process is like, okay, maybe it's a 1d4 if you ingest. Maybe it's just always 4 if you take it up the ass. Or maybe it's stronger. So maybe it's a 1d6.
I was wondering if you needed to do like an acrobatics check or something. Just like if you
don't do it during combat. I don't imagine you doing this during combat.
No, but it's like a thing where it's like, I want to butt chuck this. It's like if you fail, you don't get any. You either get it in you or you spill it or something. And so you have to do some kind of like skill check.
And I feel like we're kind of glossing over the ease of butt chugging in general. Like, what is it a funnel? Are you using the glass vial? Because that's a danger of its own. Yeah, see?
A glass bottle with a tapered, as long as it's thick glass, though, that's kind of the ideal shape.
But, I mean, you run any glass.
Dude, you clench.
That's true. No, that's true. That's true.
It could be catastrophic.
Maybe if you get like one of those bottle nipples on top and you like...
If you have a butt chugging funnel in your pack, though, you could just get that out and use it.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm thinking a funnel. It's during like a short or a long rest and you have someone assisting you. You call your barbarian over to pour the potion in the funnel.
You gotta, I need to butt chug this. I'm almost dead. You gotta come help. Gurmorth is not comfortable with that. We
got a cleric. He can come heal you. No. You have to help me. Here's my ass.
Someone suggested like a Bane, like Batman villain style delivery system up your butt while you're in combat.
Why not just go in the veins like Bane does? Why did it have to be butt Bane? Why do you have to go in the ass still? He has things injecting into his bloodstream. That's the whole thing.
That's true. That's exactly what that is.
I was with you until why did they go back to butt?
Maybe they did. Maybe I just thought butt. I don't know. I'll have to reread it.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding how Bane's power works, in Batman. You were born in the dark. I was born in the dark.
That version just has the mouth crab.
Molded by it.
Okay, so the conclusion I would say the majority have come to is that a regen potion 100% would heal faster if you butt chug it.
Now, see, I would disagree with that because I feel like a regen potion is like necessitated on the digestion process because that's why it's regenerative over time. It's meant to like a time release thing. And there's many time release medications that you literally cannot take rectally because the breaking down of it needs to be digested.
You need your stomach acid to break down the capsule or whatever.
So I would believe that regen potions would be more likely to have to be ingested.
Yeah, I guess I was imagining if you're not in combat why would you need to butt chug it?
So imagine a world where like potions are more rare, more expensive, or like two of your party need heal, but you've only got one potion. So like splitting a potion, typically you can't do. But if you both butt chug half of it, maybe it does the same amount as it normally would, but you can split it.
All right, here's a different approach that I bet no one has suggested. I was watching, there's this YouTuber, something Emu. He's that doctor that says, presenting to the emergency room. You know that guy?
Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Yeah, it's Limu Emu's YouTube channel, yes.
Yep, yeah, that's it. Is it? So there was this case of a kid who was dared to put like an entire tube of Bengay on their balls for some reason.
Ugh.
I don't know why, but this was what they did. And so they did it, and it's like, oh, it burns. Kind of like this whatever this is. It's got, you know, certain ingredients in there that are meant to be absorbed, and then they are either numbing or something like that. But the problem is the testicles are like 20 times more permeable than other skin on the body because of the blood supply. So a lot more medication will actually diffuse directly into the bloodstream. Now, here's where I'm going with this. What if you don't need to drink it at all? What if you soak your nuts in the health potion juice and then you will absorb, you won't waste anything. You don't need to butt chug it. You could have specially designed underwear that has a whole potion just constantly in there, and you'll have the healthiest balls anyone's ever seen, and it will absorb into your body.
But how do you heal like your female companions?
It's probably the same way. Probably the nether regions of most people in some way or another are more permeable than others because of the blood flow that goes in there.
You probably need a different type of container or system for women to take advantage of that. You might need different formulations because men is all like skin on the outside, which is meant to be like exterior to the body. That region for women, like what if it goes in? That might just be really painful or something. Like that would be...
No, it would absolutely be as permeable because that's the other thing. Like that is very permeable.
I would say it's probably more permeable because it's more like a mucous membrane type.
There was a problem where someone would soak their tampons in like vodka and they would insert the tampon and it would absorb into the body, but it introduced so many other issues.
Isn't that still better to use that in your rectum?
I don't know if any of it's better.
No,
like,
none of it's good.
Let
me be clear. Nobody do any of this. This is all bad for you.
No, this is not advice. There are no health potions. Vodka is not a health potion.
That's not what mommy says.
I'm saying what occurred, and it was still bad all across the board with vodka specifically because microbiomes being what they are and the sensitivity of skin, and alcohol actually is something that kills cells very easily, including those in the human body, even though we drink it. I don't, but a lot of people drink it every day. That's also not good. Don't do that. Long story short, soaking your testes in a health potion can only be good.
So if we get a fountain and it's one of those fountains that like has something that pours out the health potion into like a little pool area, we could attach our female companions to the outpour sections and we can soak our balls in the fountain portion.
I'm saying everyone can just dunk in the post koozie.
I misunderstood.
In the health koozie. You don't need to insert your female companions on the outpour? Was that your words?
I don't know what it is.
I blacked out while Wade was trying to explain whatever his thought was.
The visual I had was not a good one.
I think based on what Mark is saying, that what you should really do is find a hot spring, splash your potion in there, and then have everyone just get in the hot spring and soak it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that sounds nice. I feel like one vial of health potion inside of a hot tub is pretty diluted, though.
Well, you gotta be in there until you suck it. I don't know.
It's supposed to be enjoyable, man. You just like you're healing. Everyone's open wounds in the jaw.
In the coos.
All right, well, that was my burning question of the day.
Was that the topic for the episode?
No, it was just a bonus topic, but I don't know how much time we have for actual topic. We had a lot of small talk.
You really came to the experts to talk about that one.
Well, now I've got my social media. I've got my D&D crew. I went to 5 different people's live streams while they were streaming and posed that question to them. Some of them were like, oh, I don't know, and then moved on. Some of them like really debated it, but now we've got the subreddit and everyone that watches this to give me their feedback. But don't give me those like D&D's too pure to think about that kind of stuff, man. Don't ruin my D&D. You can only take a health potion through the mouth because the book says so. It's like, think outside the fucking box, you little bitch. That's what I say to those Puritan D&D GMs out there who don't want to think about butt chugging.
If we're talking about in the most practical sense, you have to get healed by something. And if we all decide to agree that the end goal is to get into your bloodstream, which we didn't conclude, but like in a lot of scenarios, I feel like that's a fair conclusion about how exactly the health potion works.
If it's not magic, if it's alchemical, probably.
The optimal thing to do would be to inject it.
Yeah.
You would want like an EpiPen type thing like they do in a lot of video games where you just pop it out and just go.
Just thinking about like old style D&D where it's like swords and bows and shields. It's like I doubt they have syringes back then. So I don't know if they have that option.
Oh, they got alchemical concoctions, but they don't have syringes. Okay.
Look, I don't want to break the realism of the world.
My immersion. Like, I feel like butt chugging makes sense in a world. It's like the cocaine thing joke that we did. If you're in like a frat bro world and you're role playing, like you're at a frat party or you're something, butt chugging kind of makes sense. That's where that happens primarily, I would assume. But if you're like in a high fantasy adventure, it makes less sense that they would do that.
No, you'd have to have someone that thought of it. You'd have to have a bro in the party. It's like,
you're a bro character in the party. I feel like go for it. Role play.
Probarian.
Yeah, it could work.
Barbara bro.
I was looking it up because I thought that maybe the eyeballs would be more permeable, but actually they're not. Because I was thinking that like an eye wash station of potion, where you just press the lever and it's goosh into your eyes, but it's actually not very permeable. I realize like for good reasons because it's constantly exposed to the environment, so it'd be bad if that was always permeable.
Yeah, no, the rectum's where it's at.
Yeah, no, your eyes are like separate. I forget exactly how it works, but your eyes are not connected into the rest of your body's immune system and stuff in the same way or whatever. Something like that.
I wonder if we can measure to see what's more permeable, like your balls or your ass.
I could ask. Let me ask.
Well, let's prop Wade up upside down. We'll get 1 bucket of alcohol on his balls, and then we'll get a hose up his ass. We'll start it all at the same time. You'll have to tell us which goes first, your balls or your ass. Where does your drunk start?
Well, if you're plugging up both of my holes, they're going to come out of my mouth or my eyes or my nose, or I'm going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to explode.
Do you pee out of your balls?
You don't?
Anyway, it's most permeable membranes are the mouth, nasal passages, and genital and anal regions. I guess if you put it in your mouth and just hold it there, that would also be just as good as soaking it in the jaw.
So whenever we eat food, we shouldn't swallow. We should just hold it in the mouth for a long time.
Technically, if you've done that in science class, if you take a saltine cracker or something like that and you chew it in your mouth for 20 minutes, it will start to turn sweet because the enzymes in your mouth will turn it into sugar. But also, the mucous membranes in the mouth are permeable to the bloodstream. So yes, you would start to absorb things.
Dude, why am I wasting my life fucking swallowing then? I should just lay down in bed, open my mouth, put in the food for the next day, and be done with it.
It's just fucking chipmunk cheek Wade over here with all of his meat stuffed into the sides.
Turn on an audio book and just fucking mouth digest.
You go to that's a Brazilian steakhouse and the churrasco comes over and you're getting more, please.
I have them roll me in on like a gurney and
Wait, why can't you walk? Wait, why can't you walk?
So I'm laying down.
He doesn't want to
I
have
see.
to move. Wade's goal in life is to move the minimum amount possible.
Okay, well, here's the actual topic for today. Name some shows, movies, video games, etc., books that either should have a sequel and don't, or that shouldn't have a sequel that do. This was an idea I had, I don't know how many weeks ago, and I kind of forgot about it, so I don't remember what exactly brought it to my mind. What's something you're like, oh man, I want that sequel? Like, you know, I think Half-Life 3 came to mind. Maybe it was when Abiotic Factor was coming out. I was like, dude, this is so fun. This is like our Half-Life 3 we never got. What's something that got a sequel that you're like, that's bad? Or something that didn't, and you're like, where is it? Please.
You know what didn't need a sequel? Lion King. None of the subsequent Lion King movies, and I don't mean the live action remake, that's not a sequel, but there's like, I think 2 or possibly 3 Lion King sequels.
Yeah, they did the straight to DVD stuff. They were doing that a lot more.
Those don't need to exist. Like, I have no problem with those stories existing and going straight to DVD. The Lion King is a great, fantastic story, great movie. It's very beautiful. It didn't need anything else. Leave the Lion King alone and make some other animal stories if you want to do that. But
didn't Little Mermaid also get a sequel like that, like a straight to DVD sequel?
Oh, they all did.
Yeah, like every Disney movie. If it doesn't have sequels you know about, it has sequels that were straight to DVD sequels, like guaranteed.
But I will say, with Aladdin's straight to DVD sequels.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I love Return of the Jafar, and I love Prince of Thieves more than the original.
I liked Prince of Thieves a lot. I watched that a lot as a kid.
I think about that Turtle City all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
The dude being turned to gold is burned into my brain as like a horrible, horrible fate. And it was just like, it's so visceral with like, and I loved the hand of Midas. I wanted to lick the hand because it looked like a big ice cream cone. But I was like, oh no, I can't. I turned to gold. But oh, it looks so tasty.
What a movie like merch thing that would have been. Hand of Midas popsicles. Oh my God.
Oh, why not? Yeah, it's like they want to forget about that. But those Return of Jafar, people would say the quality of it. You got Homer Simpson as the genie, whoever the voice actor for that. That's not good. But Robin Williams came back for Prince of Thieves, and it's like really, it's not quite the same quality as original Aladdin, but it's way better than Return of Jafar in terms of quality and like actual animation and cinematic quality.
No, it's like a good movie. It's good all around. Very good.
I love that movie. I still to this day say, "Open Caraway."
Yeah,
you know the fucking sheriff guy, whatever he is. He says that to try to open the passage, and it's like I still to this day.
What's the poor dude with my hairline who's like the bad guy at the start of Prince of Thieves or whatever? Is it Prince of Thieves?
Oh, what is his name? With a big bottom lip.
Or maybe he's the Return of Jafar. He's one of the two.
Yeah, he's Return of Jafar. Abismal.
Abismal.
Right. I get it now. I get what the name is. Abismal. Abysmal. I get it. That's funny. Oh, the King of Thieves, not the Prince of Thieves. It's the King of Thieves.
I mean, it's been 20 years since I've seen it, so I whichever one. Okay, so we got some Disney. We got good Disney. We got bad Disney.
I feel like I have to put this out there because it's one that it's not interesting to talk about to me anymore because it's done to death. But the fact that Firefly only has one season is a tragedy. By the end of season 1 of Firefly, you feel, for me anyway, it feels like they found like they found the voice they were looking for. They hit their stride. You get to the end of the season and you're like, holy fuck, let's go. And then it's over. And you're like, oh, God, they had it. Because the beginning of Firefly, it's not like it's every single episode is a masterpiece. I would say they're all good. But at the beginning, you kind of takes a minute. If you stick with it, by the time you get to the end of that season, holy shit. It feels like they found it. They found the thing. And the next season would have just been like, just perfect explosion of, nope, nothing. Forever sad.
You know, I'm probably in the minority about this one, but I actually enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda.
I was enjoying it a lot too, actually. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, some people would probably say like, oh, that's one of the sequels shouldn't have been made. But I'm like, I was so down with New Galaxy. I love the idea of going to Andromeda. And there were so many drop storylines that were supposed to be like pursued. I never actually finished the game, so what can I really say? But there was the whole thing about the Quarian Ark ship didn't make it. Why? That's weird, but it's somewhere. There was all these mysteries of these other races going along. And I think people were so hung up on that it wasn't Shepard or it wasn't like the same kind of story or something like that. There was a chance to expand it, but you know, it just wasn't something. I feel like even the development of it was like, it's too big. It should have been smaller to start with, because that's the problem with these sequels that try to like establish something new is like they start way too big and then they can't expand it any farther. It's already huge, and Mass Effect was already problematic because it was like a spanning storyline that was getting bigger and bigger. So I feel like it just needed to be a little more contained, but what do I know?
I thought it was great. It was just kind of came out half baked. Like, I don't know if you remember when it first launched, the graphics. Spoilers. I apologize. Spoilers. The character you play as loses, a parent early in that game. And I remember a scene where he's talking about that. Well, I played the male version, but he or she was talking about losing their parent. My character's eyes like just started looking outward as they were like, I really miss my dad. It's like, do you?
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you handle trauma? You don't just start to dissociate and your eyes go in different directions?
But dude, it was really just the graphical, like if they had baked it a little bit longer, if it just stayed in the oven a little bit longer where it didn't come out and they looked like what's that effect where you look at something humanoid but it doesn't look human?
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it was very Uncanny Valley looking at the characters, like having this, it was a very serious conversation, but like one of them like tilted their head and like smiled creepily or something. It's like,
no, I really like that specific shot. Was like a big meme for me for a minute of the one who was just like,
Yeah.
With the head snap and the...
So the game itself was great, but it was just hard to stay in it because there were so many things that just like took you out where you weren't like still bought into the environment and, you know, fully invested. But no, the game itself, if you could get past that, or, you know, I think they patched it, updated it, and made it better. But like once that you get to that point, it was a really fun game. I really enjoyed it. It's just like that was hard to start with whenever they give you a serious moment and their like faces do not line up at all with what they should be, with what they're saying and how the voice acting was.
And it's also like it tried to, the other issue I would have liked to see in something is not only smaller, but just like trying to not be exactly what Mass Effect was, like introducing your cast of characters and your crew, like as much as it's like, oh yeah, of course, that's what Mass Effect is all about. But if this is like a two Andromeda kind of thing, I kind of want it to start out more lonely, you know, kind of that's, to me, that would be the whole story of it. And then, you know, I know that's kind of what it was of like assembling people and pulling people together, but just like go more lonely, have people miss the crew, have people miss anyone being around, and just like start from there where everything's hostile and everything, like it's not the same kind of vibe to it. And then people can't draw as many conclusions to it and miss the same things that were trying to be replicated from the original trilogy, you know.
I think they could have done things a little bit differently with it, but overall, I think if they had just worked on it for another year and then released it, wow, it's like Diablo 4. You know, Diablo 4, we did an episode and I complained about there being like no pets and other stuff. And I think like the day before that episode came out, Diablo was like, hey, look, there's pets now. And so I looked like a fucking idiot. Point being is Diablo 4 right now is actually in the best shape it's ever been in. It's really fun right now, but it's literally the end of their 1 year anniversary of release. It took them a year for their game to feel like how it should have felt on release. It's like, I don't know why. It must be publishers or something. I don't know. Games just release, aren't great, and by the time they get great, everyone's given up on it. And it's like, dude, but it's so good now. You should try it. I don't understand. There was something with the Diablo 4 team, and they were like, man, people like all this stuff from Diablo 3. We're better than them. We won't use that shit. Woo! And now they're like, oh man, we should probably introduce some of that stuff they liked from Diablo 3. And they're like they're introducing it as if it's new content. It's like, bitch, I had a pet get my gold 10 years ago. What do you mean this is new content? I'm glad they're doing it, but like, why did it take so long? Bob, what you got?
This is a complicated one, and this is sort of a half-baked idea, but since you asked this question, I've been trying to get creative with it. I generally am not a big fan of games as a service. I certainly play games that are a service. Video games as a service is a thing that's very common. There are just some games where I like the game, so I want to play it, even though supporting the game makes companies think that that's an okay thing to do. But if there is a kind of game that I think should be a game as a service instead of constant new sequels coming out, it should fucking be sports games. There should be one Madden football. There should be one EA NHL game. There should be one of each of those. And it should be a game as a service where every subsequent season, I don't care. I don't buy them or play the ultimate team modes where you collect the little cards and you spend your V-Bucks on whatever.
You mean their money-making side, yeah.
They can do that. I think that's bullshit, but people, like, there are tons of people who love that and spend all their money on it, and like, they're adults. They could spend their money on that if they want to. I just want to own, like, I play sports games, but I play them to just play like franchise mode, where it's like, I want to play a season as my favorite hockey team. I don't care if they suck. I'm playing a season as the Blue Jackets right now in NHL. They're awful. They were one of the worst teams in the league last year. They're awful in the game. It's really hard to win, but it's fun. It's teams, it's the players. I enjoy it as a hobby. I don't want to have to keep buying new titles every year just to get the new updates to the game, because it's not a new game. It's the exact same code with, at best, incremental updates to parts of it. It should be a game. It should have no sequels. There should be a game as a service version of all the EA Sports games, and I would probably still buy a season pass or whatever. Like, I would want, if there was a new thing, like they had a new game mode or they changed how something worked, I'd give them money every once in a while. Even it's not even that, like, that does suck, but that's just the world we live in. Just doesn't need to be a sequel. I don't need that. That's a stupid way to do it. And run it as a game as a service, make your money on microtransactions, and just let me go and play my little offline seasons that I like to play, where I don't want the online stuff. I don't want the collecting cards. I don't want any of that shit. I'm going to pretend I'm a hockey player for 40 minutes while I sit here and relax.
No, that's fair, because it is really annoying. It's like, Madden, because I don't know if you remember, but Madden, like, I don't remember, 10 years ago, they had Madden 25 as like the 25th anniversary of Madden. And now it's like,
now they have Madden 25.
Madden 2025 has to come out. They're like, Madden 25. And it's like, Didn't I? Well, hold on. Didn't we already have that title?
How does a game that has year-based naming still have confusing titles? What happened?
And what's strange is like this is EA that does this, right? That's EA. Doesn't EA also own The Sims?
Yes.
They know, yeah, I think it's still EA that owns The Sims. They know how to do this. You release one per generation, and then you sell expansion packs, DLC for crazy money, insane amounts of money.
Yeah, we're still on Sims 4, right? Which released in 2014. We're 10 years ago. We're still on Sims 4. They just keep putting expansions out for it and everything.
Why don't they do that with the sports games? It is an impossible cycle to put out a new novel game every year, especially of that caliber. It's impossible. All they're doing is incremental updates. They're wasting resources doing that. They would make more money and people would be happier if it's the same game and you release DLC for it.
And this is a thing where I know people are out there like, well, just don't buy the new one. And I don't always. I played NHL 22 for a few years. And I just, like in the last year, at some point, I got NHL 24 because I wanted the new one. It's not really any different. That's not the point. The point is at some point they deprecate support for the past games. At some point, if you have, I couldn't just have a copy of NHL 2019 and still be getting the new rosters and still like there's a new team in the league now. I want to have the Seattle Kraken in my game. The old games that predate the Kraken existing, they don't just go back and add that in. You just don't have that. I'm not saying that it makes sense to buy the game every single year, and I know people do that, and I don't own every single one, but I would rather have all the seasonal updates where it's like, oh, there's a new team and this team redesigned their jerseys, and I want all of that stuff, which is I would happily pay some seasonal fee for instead of just having to get a new game to get all these tiny little meaningless features that I just want because I'm a fan of whatever of the league and the sport. I get that it's stupid. I'm not arguing that. I'm sure there's people out there who are like, oh, you're stupid. You pay EA money. You goober. I get it, but I like hockey.
This guy's some kind of stupid.
Goober.
College football is coming back for the first time in 10 years this year.
And it looks just awful.
And it's only releasing on console. It's not having a PC release. And I feel like there was another big negative thing to it too that I can't remember off the top of my head.
So far what I've heard, the gameplay engine is hilariously, like people assumed it would just be Madden, but with college skins. Somehow it's a different gameplay engine and all the physics and tackling is all janky as fuck and hilarious.
Well, they're a little rusty. It's been 10 years since they've had a working football game.
Yeah, they haven't been making football games this whole time. It's a totally new thing.
I will say everyone hates Madden 24 with like, everyone I see that plays Madden 24 is just always bitching about how horrible it is. I was watching a guy play. He was doing like called a rebuild of the Bengals. And at one point he hops, like he's like simming a game or whatever. Then he hops into play and he's on defense. And Joe Burrow is lined up at edge rusher. One of the offensive linemen is playing corner. And he's like, what is happening? And like you just see the entire Bengals offense trying to play defense and it's going horribly wrong.
Oh no.
Apparently Madden 24, which is like the 30th installment of this game, still doesn't know how to fucking work. There are times you go to level up your player, like you'll unlock skill points to level up your player, and it'll show the player standing there with like 3 ghost people also standing in the same spot. So it'll be like some horrible like ghost amalgamation. It's supposed to be the player you're leveling up.
Well, maybe they just unlocked Wraith form and didn't remember. That would be a really useful football skill, I feel like.
I love Joe Burrow's Wraith form. Mark, I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I never.
How's your shoulder?
It's better now. It's actually way, way better. That stuff worked. It's tingly.
I was asking Bob.
Oh.
Well, that's better.
Why would I think that wasn't directed at me? The guy who was talking about his shoulder from the very beginning of the episode. I thought you cared.
You thought wrong, you goober. You goober.
No. Take those points away. I don't want them.
I didn't give you any.
Oh, God, I thought it was about me again. I thought it was about me.
Mark just thinks everything's about him.
Man.
All right, I should probably wrap this up. I've got other things we could talk about. I'm sure there's other games and movies and things, but I'm gonna call it. We can always have a part 2. You know, we do that.
You always
sometimes.
say that.
Oh no, I thought I just realized something, but we're not. The Sims 2 came out in 2004, but The Sims 3 came out in 2009.
There's a Sims 4 now, right?
I know. Well, that's why Sims 4 came out in 2014, so it's been 10 years. So I was like, Sims 5? Probably not.
They're due for one, but like I don't know how much it changes from version. Like I don't know how much 10 years would change in a game like that. Maybe
I feel like they could fundamentally add a lot to the game from what it was in 2014, but also no one cares. They'll just keep releasing updates.
Think of all the AI features they could cram into there.
Oh, AI conversations in what's their language called?
Simlish.
Simoleon. Anyway, that's it. That's the episode. Oh yeah, I forgot. Ryan, our friend Ryan, the only Ryan. Fuck you.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know. I wrote down a note. I talked to Ryan and he was like, "What are you going to do? Call me out in your podcast again?" And I was like, "You know what? I fucking will." So I wrote down in my notes, shout out Ryan, but like mean.
All right, mission accomplished.
it's a new segment. Are we airing grievances?
I don't really have any grievances. I just said I was going to be mean to him. So that was that. Yeah, let me tabulate our points here. Mark, I've got shoulder, T-Rex flex, Dirter. What's this say?
What?
Murder dirter.
Heart attack. Dalga diffusion, stable diffusion,
Oh,
Aladdin, abysmal, TikTok, Mass Effect, and you've got 12 points.
that's not very many points.
Bob, I've got for 2 weeks, Flex, Rabbit, RL,
R1.
Cardinged, Flex, Firefly, that's it finally, Firefly, Lion King, Sports Games, which has you at 10. However, I've also got handshake points for Bob.
Which is not, we didn't make a handshake deal. Just to
There's
be
no
clear.
handshake deal. However, every time Mark thought there was a handshake deal, I agreed to give Bob points. And Mark, you literally 6 times
How is that not a handshake deal?
because there was no handshake deal.
I didn't give him anything. He just offered to do that.
How is that not an agreement made outside of me knowing about it?
What, am I going to disagree when he brings that up?
You know what? Wait. I'm going back in time. Sorry,
Okay,
I'm going
yes.
back in time. I changed it.
Your shoulder?
It's all better now.
Oh, cool. Well, Bob, you still have more points. So
What did I change then? Oh God, what did I change? Oh no!
What are we gonna see in the future?
I don't know. What did I do?
everyone stay tuned. Next week should be the biannual Distractible Plane episode. So stay tuned for that. And I guess I will be hosting.
Good.
What?
No, that's what we all said.
I was implying that's what he changed. It was a funny joke.
I know, I'm just being upset. Okay, well.
All right, well, Bob, you win. You have a winner speech?
Somehow, winning in this way feels less sweet than it used to. I'm not going to give it back. It's my win, fair and square. But I do feel bad, so hopefully that makes you feel better about it, Mark.
If it makes you feel any better before Mark gives his loser speech, I was giving Mark like easier points the rest of the way to try to make it more interesting. So I did try to balance it back out. You're just better, Bob.
Mark literally counted to 6 in his bit about talking about it, and we were like, well,
It was a low scoring game, so it was hard to make up 6 points, but I was trying to give him as many points as I could.
did you give him any you gave him heart attack points even, right? I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty-
heart attack's on here. Shoulder and heart attack. He got it twice technically.
So if I have a heart attack,
That's 10 points and you'll win right now. So either do that or have a loser speech. One of the two. It's up to you. Editor, show Mark his bank accounts all at 0.
well, wouldn't do anything to me.
Have Mark flex and show nothing.
Oh, wait, yeah, wait, you were going to flex. You have to flex now.
Oh.
Is that flexing? Are we all doing it?
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, did you have a heart attack?
No, I
Say yes.
I'll give you 2 points for telling the truth. You still lose.
Honesty gets you nowhere, kids. Take that lesson with you.
Anyway, my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn. You're up.
All right.
Before Mark gives his loser speech, though,
If anyone out there knows Houdini, not the songs, the
Magician, yeah.
if anyone knows him personally, that's cool and all, but not what I'm interested in. If anyone knows Houdini, the software very well, post on the subreddit. I need some guidance, and I'm not talking like, hey, you've dabbled in it. I need someone that's like, I have 5 years of experience in the field. This isn't a job offer. I'll compensate you for your time. I don't know. Whatever.
It's not a job. I just need some advice.
It's a paid job, but not a job offer.
Is that what it is? I just need some advice, and then when I get that advice, I'm gonna kick you to the curb.
It's called consulting.
So if you guys want to do that, do that. Also, just feel free to offer Mark any unsolicited advice you would like also on the subreddit.
Can someone give me guidance on how not to get goofed so hard? I seem to be getting goofed a lot.
Hope you don't get goofed. That's it. That's the episode. Good small ending speech. I think I'm having a stroke.
Does your arm hurt? Not you, Mark.
Happy anniversary wedding, everyone. Don't remember that reference? That was a reference to Antonio Brown's little like videos he used to do. We talked about this on like 3P.
I thought you were referencing that because this episode, I think, literally comes out on mine and Mandy's 10-year wedding anniversary.
I don't know when this comes out, but does it?
Oh God, is it my birthday episode and I lose?
Oh, Mark, happy birthday.
Yeah, that's true. Mark, happy birthday.
Does that mean he has to win because it's his birthday? Is that like how life works? Or
No, it's too late. He declared the speeches were given.
the speeches were given, but I feel like until the host gives up power by ending the episode, the host basically can do whatever the hell they choose.
No, that was actually part of the rules we agreed to is you can't, once the speeches are given, then it's impossible to change. I'm pretty sure anyway, but it's like when the speeches are given, then it's final.
We could throw out the rule book entirely and I could give you points and you could win. I'm the host. I have the power right now to do it.
No, we dissolved that power.
Yeah, but together, but individually, I could still claim it back. I kept mine. I didn't throw it away. I kept it in the box just in case.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, loser.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope it was good. Happy anniversary wedding, Bob. And Mandy. I guess it takes two to.
Yeah, she's part of it. She gets it. It's just to her. She's here too. Yeah.
I guess stay tuned for the next one, y'all. Or Bob will host. You know, for his anniversary, he deserves it. For his Mark's birthday, he deserved this win. If you haven't already, go check out Bob, my Skirm, Markiplier, me, Minion777, or Lord Minion777. And I guess we'll see you in the next one. We have merch. So distractiblestore.com. Until next time, podcast out.
Happy birthday, boss.